If you want to kick off your fall morning in the perfect way, grab a hot cup of coffee and our first guest, warm apple cinnamon scones. Here to share her recipe, we welcome back professional baker, our friend Megan Diaz.
Hello.
Always nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Takes the edge off of a Monday with
Yeah.
something very sweet and very cozy.
Yes, very cozy. Now that we're having those nice, crisp, cool mornings.
It feels good.
It feels wonderful, and it's just bringing all those fall vibes.
Tell me where we begin with this recipe. You're all about getting those flavors.
Yes, so we're highlighting apples and we're highlighting cinnamon today.
Yum.
And you know, Oregon grows beautiful apples, so we might as well take full advantage
course.
and make some beautiful things.
Okay.
So I'll start with mixing up our dry ingredients. So I've got 2 cups of all-purpose flour, and then I've got a half a cup of spelt flour. That's just gonna bring some nice nutty, kind of like toasty, warm vibes to the scone.
Yummy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we add that in. And then I've got our sweetener. We're gonna do 4 tablespoons of brown sugar. So not a ton of sugar in these, which is really nice. So you're not starting off your morning on a total sugar high.
That's true.
Which is really nice.
We gotta, not go too nuts first thing in the morning. Okay.
And then we've got 2.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, and then our leavener is a tablespoon of baking powder, and then a half a teaspoon of salt.
Easy.
I'll just mix that together. And then again, this is just, you can mix this all by hand. You don't have to pull out the mixer, which is really nice. So just a couple bowls and you're good to go.
Easy.
And then a little trick I like to use, instead of cutting butter into like the small little cubes, I use my cheese grater.
Yeah.
And then I just take the cold butter straight out of the fridge, hit it on the cheese grater, and then you get these nice little strips of butter that you can kind of easily work into your flour instead of the bigger pieces of like chopped up butter.
It does make it so much easier.
So much easier. And they come together real quick, and you don't have to work it as much either, so you don't warm up the butter as much either.
I was gonna say, because you still want it to be cold, but when it's in smaller pieces, everything can come together with a little bit less effort.
Yeah, so we're gonna work this in until we get to be about pea size.
Okay.
And while I'm doing that, if you wanna get together our wet ingredients.
Let's do it.
So we've got 1 egg and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
Perfect.
And then so for some more apple flavor, I added some applesauce.
Why not?
So that's a 1/4 cup of just unsweetened applesauce, store-bought, homemade, whatever works.
Okay.
And then we're gonna use buttermilk as well. So we've got 3/4 cup of buttermilk. And then if you just wanna whisk that together and just get everything all nice and combined.
I always buy unsweetened applesauce too, because you don't really need extra sugar.
Yeah.
It's already in there, and it already tastes so sweet and good.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So, and then we're gonna add our apples into the dry. So this is 3/4 cup of small diced apples.
Now, what kind of apples are you partial to for this?
I like the Granny Smith for this, just because I wanted that nice like tart pop, but honestly, you can use whatever you want. Just make sure it's a nice firm apple.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
so anything
good.
you would use for apple pie or anything like that, you can use that. All right, and then if you want to pour the wet ingredients straight into this dry,
here we go.
and this is where we're gonna have to be a little bit dirty and use our hands,
It's
but
gonna
that's
be worth
okay,
it, though.
it's worth it. I'm gonna use a spoon for a little bit just to kind of get it to where I call it like a shaggy dough. So not everything's fully incorporated yet, but it's starting to kind of get there.
Okay.
And then you're just kind of looking to just start getting everything incorporated. And then I'm just gonna flour the counter just a little bit.
Right. Now we're getting serious.
Now we're getting serious.
Okay.
So I like to do this part with my hands just so I can feel the dough to make sure that I'm not overworking it at all. And just dump it onto your countertop.
I like that shaggy dough. It makes perfect sense when you see kind of the texture that you're going for.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna do like just a simple little kneading just to kind of get everything together.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love these kinds of recipes where it doesn't have to be picture perfect in any way.
Nope,
It's going to taste delicious. in the
Exactly,
end.
yeah. So just take a little bit to kind of get it to come together.
Okay.
Your hands are gonna get covered in dough, and that's quite all right.
That's okay.
It's good to feel what you're doing and kind of get an idea of how things are feeling.
A mindfulness exercise while you're doing it too.
It's nice. I made a batch this morning, and it was nice and quiet in my kitchen.
There you go.
It was nice and cool, and all right.
Jam out to your favorite song, and you're ready to roll.
Exactly. So once it kind of gets together, all your flour's incorporated, get a little bit off your hands. And then I'm just gonna press it into a round.
Okay.
So we're looking for an 8-inch circle, just to make sure everything's nice and even, the sizing's all right for everything.
That's a pretty good circle for how quickly that just came together.
Yeah, it's real quick and
Nice.
easy. And then I have a parchment lined baking sheet. And then I just, either a knife or I have just like a bench scraper. Just divide it into half, and then half again, and those in half.
Perfect.
And then you get 8 nice, even little
Beautiful.
wedges. And then we'll put this on our parchment paper.
Oh, nice. Okay. Now, is there an option to make this a gluten-free as well?
You can. I would suggest using Bob Red's Mill 1-to-1.
Oh, okay.
And you can, you might have to add a little bit of liquid, so you might have to play around with it a little bit.
Yeah.
Or it might actually not need as much liquid. So you might have to play around with your buttermilk amount, but
That's a good place to start,
you still
though.
can do that.
Okay.
All right. And then we'll brush it with a little, here, I'll have you do this
Yes,
since I'm
put me
all
to work.
sticky. So we're gonna brush the tops with a little bit more buttermilk.
Yum.
And then sprinkle with some more sugar.
Okay.
And so I just mixed a couple tablespoons of sugar with some more cinnamon.
Alrighty.
And then we'll pop this in a 375-degree oven. Bake it for 25 to 30 minutes.
Okay.
Just till they're nice and golden brown and they kind of feel slightly firm to the touch.
Okay.
And then they'll come out looking all gorgeous.
Can you do a make ahead with these to get the dough ready the night
Yeah.
before? Look how crazy I'm going. I'm okay.
Do it. I put a ton of cinnamon
There
sugar on
wasn't
top.
a ton of sugar
Yes.
in there, so I'm just making
Yes.
sure we're all having this experience now.
Yeah,
Okay.
so if you want to make these ahead of time, I would freeze them and
Okay.
then pull them out and thaw them and bake
Okay.
them when you're ready to
You see,
bake
I'm
them.
already trying to save time in the morning. I'm like, there's no way I'm doing all this in my coffee fog. Okay, I gotta take a bite here.
Yeah, go for it.
Look
Dive
at
in.
how gorgeous these look.
So the applesauce gives it nice moisture too, so they don't get too dry. I know everyone kind of has a love-hate with how dry scones can be, but the applesauce really gives it good moisture.
It does. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. It is. It's kind of a scone idea, but I do feel like it has more moisture than what I'm expecting from a scone.
Yeah.
And we love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Oh,
Good to
that's so
see
yummy.
you too.
We'll have more on our website at khtu.com. We'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.